Thank you for the new recording.
Our third album release.
Hot off the presses.
All right, so with all of that, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Ready
Oh,
as we'll
good,
ever
because
be.
I'm out of things to say. Take it away, guys.
All right. All right, we're February sky, where it's cloudy all the time. And we're going to start out with a song that it says here I wrote it in 1996. Holy wow. Anyway, the Union Church that I was part of at that time was undergoing some changes. And a lot of people, well, you know what Sheldon Cooper always says. They say change is good, but it never is. And so this was sort of a comfort song to go with that kind of milieu of things happening and trying to move on and accepting rather than resisting, as hard as that can be.
It's kind of my fault that it got on the list at all. I was thinking we should actually start one of our recordings with one of the songs that Susan actually uses for services and stuff. 1, 2. Is this coming through? Okay. Anyway, a touch more on my vocal.
You're not singing yet, but
Oh, it'll happen. Be
They
afraid.
always need to put Phil higher in the mix these days. Right, Steve?
I can hear you talking, so I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, our recording engineer's here tonight, so.
yeah. Yay.
I also played lap steel on one of the cuts, so David Lindley would be proud.
Okay, so folks, can you hear in the back? Okay. Is it? Yeah, okay. Earth and water and fire and air.
Spirit of life that unites them all. Circle around, no beginning, no end. Winter and spring, then the summer and fall.
An elder passes from this life, and he who loves her more than we. Passing time will heal our pain, and into our hearts deliver for love lives on when the body is gone, as sure as the sun when the moon shines clear. Lives we kept in the time we had, leave the circle unbroken.
Earth and water and fire and air. Spirit of life that unites them all. Circle around, no beginning, no end. Winter and spring, then the summer and fall.
Circle of friends where we trust and go, sharing our hopes and our dreams and fears. When one leaves us to travel alone, we let them know in our smiles and tears. We wish them well on the path they choose. We speak their name, remembering their will was still never far away, and it keeps the circle unbroken.
Earth and water and fire and air. Spirit of life that unites them all. Circle around, no beginning, no end. Winter and spring, then the summer and fall.
Day and the child and the youth I was are a part of me, though their times are gone. Birth and death in an endless flow, many lives are lived flowing in this one. And when we step on the river of change,
earth and water and fire and air, spirit of life that unites them all. Circle around, no beginning, no end, winter and spring, then the summer and fall. Thank you. Well, historically, we start sets off with a tune, but CDs you don't do that way, so we're...
Did we borrow your CD, Ralph and Ann? We brought, of course, the words to the songs that we don't know, but we didn't bring the order with us this time.
You mean you're out of order?
Oh,
Not yet.
yeah.
That's not got a disordered wrapper on it, so. Yeah.
No.
So anyway, this is a tune I made up in the model mode of 13th century Italian dance music. You were wondering when that was going to happen.
Been waiting for it.
Wait no longer.
And whatever dance you want to do is gonna be correct, because
Yeah, we have a mosh pit right over there. But,
Yeah, mash.
I should let you know that Mozart's a composer. I am not. This tune has never been written down. It's just something that noodled through my head. You have to name tunes something, so I name tunes I make up on the couch after our cats. And this one's called Belmont's Blanket. Belmont was one of our cats that used to like lying on a horsey blanket upstairs. And one of our rescue kitties, and been gone for a while now, but he was a distinctive cat.
I think he was a failed Savannah cat. And he was half wild and lived a very happy life, except for when we had him.
So anyway, this is Belmont's Blanket. Thank you.
Okay, so now, if there's an excuse for this, it's because I've been sick for like a week. And so my capos are in the red backpack over in the,
Which of course aren't here.
when we need them. And,
you sure
but
you haven't been taking lessons from
no, I'm very blessed in that I can actually still sing even when I'm sick with a cold.
She's not contagious anymore.
No, it's been well over a week since I've been sick. And I tend to sniffle for weeks afterwards.
If you had a bigger stage, it'd be a lot easier, huh?
It would be. Yeah.
I think I'm going to move some things at the break, but anyway.
If wishes were fishes, buddy.
Anyway, it gets us to. Oh, yeah, we had other musicians play with us on the recording, and you should have imagined the great part Joel Simpson played on the first song. But nobody else played on the one we just did. This song actually has a hammer, dulcimer, and cello part from our friend Paul Goles. No, he lives in Rochester Hills near Detroit. And he basically, since he used to record a lot of Cooper Nelson early, one of Susan's recordings, he still had his equipment, and he basically phoned his parts in. And
Oh, yeah, he's
So-
still work as a recording engineer on radio. And it's amazing. We had the incredibly gifted Gina Forsyth phone in a violin parts for these
from New Orleans. So,
She's amazing.
So you-
She made me cry on Electric Theater.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really old.
Anyway, this song is a Celtic Scottish song. There are 2 Irishmen, 2 Scotsmen, 2 Welshmen, and 2 Englishmen stranded on a deserted island. And this was not a reality show, so they weren't all trying to stay. They wanted to get off, but there was a fresh water source, so they were not going to die of thirst. They could get fish and the odd bird. There's fruit trees, so they weren't going to starve to death. So within 2 weeks, the Scots had set up a distillery.
The Irish had drunk the contents thereof,
The Welsh had formed a choir.
and the English had not yet been properly introduced.
Anyway, this is a song about a man who wins an all-expenses-paid trip to Australia.
Except he doesn't want to go.
Yep, because basically those one-way trips or all-expense-paid trips were for terms of 7 to 14 years. And a musician friend was traveling to Australia once, and they said at customs, "Do you have a criminal record?" And said, "Well, I wasn't aware one was still necessary for admission to this country." But
They were not amused. They never were.
yeah, they used to send them here, but there was the American Revolution. But anyway, this is called Jamie Rayburn. Oh, my name is Jamie Rayburn. In Glasgow I was born. From my place of habitation I now must leave in scorn. From my place of habitation I now must go awa', far from the bonny hills and dales of Caledonia. It was early in the morning, just at the break of day, when I overheard the turnkey, who unto us did say, "Arise, ye weary convicts, arise, ye one and all. This is the day you are to stray from Caledonia."
Sing it for all.
So we all arose, put on our clothes, our hearts were full of grief, and all our friends stood round about, could grant us no relief. Our parents, friends, and sweethearts, their hearts were broken twa, to see us leave the hills and dales of Caledonia. Farewell Farewell, my aged mother, I'm vexed for what I've done, and I hope none will cast up to you the race that I have run. And I hope God will prove kind to you when I am far awa', far from the bonny hills and dales of Caledonia. Farewell, my aged father, you are the best of men. And likewise to my sweetheart, young Catherine is her name. No more we'll walk by Clyde's clear streams, nor by the Bromelaw. Farewell, ye bonny hills and dales of Caledonia. Oh, my name is Jamie Rayburn, in Glasgow I was born. From my place of habitation I now must leave in scorn. From my place of habitation I now must go awa', far from the bonny hills and dales of Caledonia. Thank you.
All right, well, one of the things that Phil and I do when we're touring with our music is present music-based services at Unitarian Universalist churches. And one that popped out a few years back was inspired by Zoe Mulford's song, I'm Gonna Wear Red Today. And it was on clothing and how clothing affects you and the people around you. And one of the things that people, of course, are going to ask is like, well, yeah, you know, splendid clothing is all well and good, but where the heck would I wear that, you know? And of course, if you are the least bit interested in history, you can go reenact. Pick a period that appeals to you for, you know, the stuff happening in it or whatever, and you can wear really cool stuff. And so this song popped out for that. And I have no idea why, but it's from a man's point of view. Don't know. Maybe because I didn't know Joel Simpson yet, but maybe because I was visioning him in my head or something. I don't know. But because he does this. And we don't do the Renaissance period either. Not for any reason, like, you know, of snobbishness or anything. We just don't. But this guy's also a Renaissance guy, so he's one of these people that takes it seriously. So.
A stitch counter.
Well, maybe not that serious. Yeah. Yeah.
Should hear some stories my brother tells about Civil War reenactors when they see somebody new coming in. Well, it's all well and good, but your uniform's not. Those are the stitch counters.
Yeah.
Can't say welcome, thanks for coming in, because we need more people, but they have to credit anyway. So now I wield a sword, sometimes her ways the wizard's wand, in flowing shirts of linen like the feathers of a swan, with jewels dripped in jeweled colors, nothing here that's bland. In robes of purple velvet, I'm your weekend Renaissance man.
I worked so hard to learn to brand your swords and moves and louts. I was scared of horses, so I had to learn to joust. I found that I could sing, and so I studied at the lute. Those hunches in their low-cut blouses all were mighty cute. I met a pretty blonde one in a dress of scarlet red. She told me I was handsome, oh, the words went through my head. I went my long and royal embroidered all in gold. Though that was 30 years ago, we aren't growing old. Always we play with our grandchildren, swing them through the air. But when the weekends come, we're driving off to work the fairs. The card we wore when we were younger fits our figures still. The pleasure and the exercise keeps us from getting ill.
So still I wield a sword, sometimes or raise the wizard's wand, in flowing shirts of linen like the feathers of a swan, with jerkins all in jewel colors, nothing here that's bland. In robes of purple velvet, I'm your weekend Renaissance man. Thank you. We'll send you on a mental vacation here. This is an old Scottish air called Roslyn Castle. Reminds me of another story of an Irishman, an Englishman, and a Scotsman are all sitting in a pub in Dublin having a pint of Guinness together, and a fly lands in each of their pints simultaneously because they don't close the windows because they don't need air conditioning there. And the Englishman says, "Hey, barman, my drink is tainted. Please replace it."
Irishman says, waste a good whiskey. Get out of there, you.
This-
Waste a good Guinness.
The Scotsman grabs that fly by both wings and says, "Spit it out. I paid for that."
I told that joke to a group of 7th graders, and they just looked at me. It's like, don't you guys know anybody that's cheap? Oh!
Have to explain it. It's lost.
Well, in 7th grade, what do they know? Nobody tells them jokes anymore.
Well, you can't. But
Well, you can tell them clean ones.
well, I tried sometimes telling jokes, clean ones, and they'd be coming back with some that were not school appropriate, so I had to stop doing that. So
Well, yeah, they told me once, and I told them a clean one. I can't tell you anymore because I don't know any more clean ones. And they're like, oh, well, tell us some dirty ones. We won't tell anybody.
right, kids lie like rugs. But anyway, Roslyn Castle. Susan always thought this tune should appear in a James Bond, classic James Bond movie, like From Russia with Love or Goldfinger.
Something like that, yeah.
But it
How
doesn't.
does that sound?
This is one of the tunes that Gina Forsythe, who's better known as a Cajun-style fiddler, did a great part on. Thank you. This show gets too slick for you. Let us know.
Yeah.
Sometimes dull things slide off your lap.
Yep. I'm sure you're not the first one that's happened to. Well, here's a slice of Upper Peninsula life for you. When we moved to the UP, God, it's almost 11 years now. Amazing. Loved every minute of it so far. Don't want to go back. See people weaving in and out of traffic, you know, doing 90 miles an hour. You miss Chicago? No. See,
Nice to come and visit, but
yeah, I'd love to see all our friends and stuff.
when it comes Sunday, it's like we're ready to go home.
Yeah. The UP traffic jam, if you didn't already know, is you're coming down a side road and you pull onto a quote-unquote main road, and you've got one car half a mile down that way, another car half a mile down the other way. So we like it that way. Alright. So our neighbor, when we first moved up there, who then owned the bar 2 doors away, told us we could use her burn barrel any old time we wanted to, and we thought that was a very kind thing to do, to offer. And so a few months later, we were sitting on the couch watching TV, and somebody said something, and Phil said something, and I was like, oh my God, I've got to make that into a song. And it didn't happen until the pandemic, but don't know why. Songs get born when they figure they are ready, and not one bit sooner.
Those K's or capos, you have to
Yeah.
strengthen your hands to get them put on properly.
Harder to put on than they used to be.
Yeah.
Well, for a 12 string, it actually holds the strings better.
Oops, except that doesn't sound right. All right. Like I said, the show gets too slow for you. We live up in the frozen north in a tiny town. Most everybody's broke up here. New jobs are taken down. The bar next door has got a burn barrel for torching all their trash. They don't pay for garbage pickup, and that saves those folks some cash. One night when we were watching some commercials on TV, a dire warning came from some insurance company. They said a funeral could cost us $30,000 in bread. My dear sweetie turned and looked me in the eye, and then he said,
Throw me in that burn barrel when I die. Let my ashes flow in a beautiful snow against that northern sky. And the neighbors will be saying, man, he sure is one hot guy. So throw me in that burn barrel when I die.
I said that was fine with me, but it had to go both ways. No caskets, no funeral home, no priest to come and pray. However, I would like a bit of fancy
Throw me in that burn barrel when I croak. You could toss some fireworks in there and a nice thick log of oak. And the folks will say she went out with a bang in a cloud of smoke. So throw me in that burn barrel when I croak.
Our Facebook friends can honor us. No money need be spent to help insure the poor surviving spouse can pay the rent. And now the COVID time is past. A sit around could not be wrong. And the rest of them can get on Zoom and sing our favorite song. Don't
Throw us in that burn barrel when we're gone. They can watch our ashes mix with snow in a rosy UP dawn. And until we soar above the clouds, we'll creep on singing songs. But throw us in that burn barrel when we're gone. Throw me in that burn barrel. Throw me in that old burn barrel. Throw me in that burn barrel when I die. Thank you. Well, we're going to get to a tune that a child ballad which I messed with. Anyway, this was, there are some versions that are like really, really long. I think Michael Cooney was doing a folk workshop on ballads and sang this ballad, and it took like most of the time of the hour-long workshop, like 40 minutes of it, and the other participants were not very pleased. This is down to 5 minutes. It's the Reader's Digest versions. Basically, I took the words that Fairport Convention used to this ballad and fit it to a tune that was, I heard, sung by the late Lisa Null, called The Devil Buck, which is about a ghostly deer that appears in the woods and stabs hunters to death with his antlers. So, like I said, the theme of the...
that wholesome traditional music.
Yeah. Well, the theme of the recording is songs that deal with time in one way or another, and yeah. And this deals with mystical fairy time and such things, and so it's called Tamlin, and it does have a repeat line every verse. Like I said, I did some major surgery on what Fairport Convention did, and snuck in a way to do a repeat line. But the story's the same. Wondering if Mercury's in retrograde or something, but
Well, it's a good thing I noticed it. It would have sounded awful weird.
yes, with a strap across the strings. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done that sort of thing before too. So. I forbid you maidens all who wear gold in your hair to travel to Carter Hall for young Tamlin is there, oh, young Tamlin is there. Them that goes to Carter Hall, they leave him a pledge. Either their mantles green, or else their maidenheads, oh, or else their maidenhead. Janet tied her kirtle green a bit above her knee, and she's off to Carter Hall as fast as go could she, oh, as fast as go could she. She'd not pulled a double rose, a rose but only two, when up and spoke him young Tamlin, saying, Lady, pull no more, oh, lady, pull no more. And why came you to Carter Hall without the leave of me? I come and go where Janet says, and ask no leave of thee, oh, and ask no leave of thee. Janet tied her kirtle green a bit above her knee, and she's off to her father's hall as fast as go could she, oh, as fast as go could she. Up and spoke her father dear, and he spoke meek and mild. Oh, and alas, Janet, he said, I think you go with child, oh, I think you go with child. If that be so, young Janet said, myself shall bear the blame. There's not a knight in all your hall shall get the baby's name, oh, shall get the baby's name. For if my love were an earthly knight, as he's an elfin gray, I'd not forsake my own true love for any knight you have, oh, for any knight you have. Janet tied her kirtle green a bit above her knee, and she's off to young Tamlin as fast as go could she, oh, as fast as go could she. Tell to me, Tamlin, she said, how came you here to dwell? The Queen of Fairy, she caught me when from my horse I fell, oh, when from my horse I fell. And at the end of 7 years, she pays the tithe to hell. I so fair and full of flesh, am feared it be myself, oh, am feared it be myself. But tonight is Halloween, and the fairy folk ride. Those that would let true love win, at Miles Cross they must hide, though, at Miles Cross they must hide. First let pass the horse that's black, and then let pass the brown. Quickly run to the white steed, and pull the rider down, oh, and pull the rider down. For I ride on the white steed, the nearest to the town. For I was an earthly knight, they give me that renown, oh, they give me that renown. First they'll turn me in your arms into a new Taurus snake, but hold me tight and fear you not, I am your baby's father, I am your baby's father. Then they'll turn me in your arms into a lion bold. Hold me tight and fear you not, and you shall love your child, oh, and you shall love your child. Then they'll turn me in your arms into a naked knight. Cloak me up in your mantle and keep me out of sight, oh, and keep me out of sight. In the middle of the night, she heard the bridle ring. She heeded what he did say, and young Tamlin did win, oh, and young Tamlin did win. Up and spoke the fairy queen, an angry queen was she. Ill betide her ill-fought fate, an ill death may she die, oh, an ill death may she die. Had I known Tamlin, she said, what this night I would see, I would have looked you in the eye and turned you to a tree, oh, and turned you to a tree. Thank you. In longer versions of the ballad, they repeat all the tasks and the horses and such things, so they didn't have to do that for this. We're going to do one more song in this set, I believe, and give people a chance to look at the new CD. We're very proud of the way the cover looks, and all that. And, I need an extra arm for one thing. Well, I actually want to stick this over. Oops. Actually, if you could put that over on that far, whatever. Keep the plug in for now, because I don't mic this. This song, we had the privilege of having our friend Bob Holdsworth play bass on it. And Steel Eye Span did a version of this, and turns out Bob was not familiar with what Ashley Hutchings played on this song, and quite wisely avoided listening to the Steel Eye version because he made up his own great part. And it's just a delight listening to the part on it. Well,
Yeah, leave a little bottom end on it. So in the 21st century, there are a great many people who have the idea that people who feel like they're not born into the right gender are something new. This is not something new. This has been going on for as long as there have been people, I'd suspect. And there are a lot of songs about especially young women who decided that they either did not want the women they had in a couple hundred years ago, or they wanted to follow a lover sometimes, and they didn't want to be that girl that was left behind. It's kind of mind-bending when you think about the idea that when someone went off somewhere, even if it was only a few hundred miles away, you would often not hear from them for many, 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 many years.
if at all.
If at all. And communication was not then. And so that was another reason why some young women went off and dressed up as men and worked as men, and the clothing styles were such that it was probably easier now. But they had to work as hard as men, and they had to be able to do all the same things that the men could do, because if they didn't, they would get found out and sent back, or worse. And the woman in this song does indeed get found out and sent back, but not for that. Very different reason. This is called The Female Drummer.
From the Napoleonic War era.
And a rub-a-dub-a-dum is a snare drum. No, it's traditional.
Trad.
It's trad, yeah. Rub-a-dub-a-dum.
And what, is it still snowing?
I looked at the hourly this afternoon and it looked like it was supposed to slow down or stop by 10 o'clock, so
Oh, good.
need to stick around.
Yeah. So we'll take a short break. Washrooms are out the door to your left. I never start till there's no line for the washroom. Or if somebody's buying merch, because
Which is over there, so.
it's right over there. And the merch lamp is lit, so
Okay.
we'll be back in a little bit.
Thank you, John. Take some cough, sir.
I will.
It's not in your way, is it?
Oh, no, that's fine. No, I was good.
Just figured I need some room to get up. Put this back in its case, 'cause we don't need this. Fix.
Sorry?
Yeah, I put it in the wrong.
Oh,
Condenser mic.
oh,
It's for the room.
okay.
Joel's been doing a lot of fine tuning of our, they have been down there for a while. So we use this for the room, for streaming. For the general.
Right. Oh, well. So that whole set didn't get recorded, is that?
Oh, no, it did.
Oh, okay.
We get a better sound with this.
Oh, okay.
No,
right.
we use a mix of the house mics.
Right,
and-
okay. All right. Well, it should happen, so what are you going to do, you know? Let's see. So what are your children up to these days?
My children.
Yes.
I was kind of nearing the end of a divorce proceeding.
Oh,
Met someone about a year ago. And in the meantime, her ex quit drinking and lost 100 pounds.
oh, Lila got divorced?
It's almost done. You know,
Oh.
her ex could. It's phenomenal what he was able to put away, but he got up to 415 pounds
Holy wow.
drinking beer, you know. And,
Wow.
anyway, but I guess it was.
Have a good week.
They kind of get along. At Eleanor's birthday, both Jake and Tim were there, and you know it was okay. They're not pals. They're not going to be pals or anything, but they're cordial.
That's tough.
It is, but it's they're very careful to not play out their differences.
Yeah.
With the
With the
kids.
kids,
and
yeah.
nobody's kids is trying to get them
makes
to take
sense.
sides. Anyway, but Lila was she wasn't.
I
Feel
thought
like she
I,
really had a relationship, you know.
yeah, I understand. Yeah, I thought I had kind of figured out that they were no longer together from her Facebook page, but I wasn't sure.
I don't see any Fritos.
Do you ever talk to the audience about your recording dulcimer?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So all this banging of all these great expensive instruments,
Yeah.
you're changing, you're banging them here, you're
Yeah,
banging them there.
It's like Phil always says, they're not objects of art, they're tools of the trade. Well, there's no room up here,
There's
so,
no room at all.
yeah.
You're coming off the stage there.
Yeah, I know.
The one leg is
Your music stand is about to fall off.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That's okay, release.
You know, I just had an idea. This second set, I only have a few songs that I don't know really well. So, I think I'll try putting the music stand down
Hello.
here.
Remember us?
No, but you look familiar. The better. And I don't know why I remember your face.
Because he's such a handsome guy. That's right.
Steve, I have a recording studio.
Yeah.
Were you in it?
Yes. We started something, didn't get around.
Before we got back after our first session.
That's probably why I remember your face. Yes. Switch my guitar over. Hey, do I get free? Of course you do. To put it on your wall of shame, my wall of shame, you got it. So, Doug Lostrom texts me, he goes, hey, Mims, Mike's not coming over the live stream.
Oh,
So it's been soft in the room, like even when you said to me, I said, I'm
Yeah.
having trouble hearing what you're saying to me.
oh,
It's
dear
really
me.
soft. So I went to the sound guy, I said, you know, my friend texted me saying it's not coming through on the live thing. He says, well, I'll give it a little more in the room. I said, oh, sounds. I think he said that, but I don't know if it went up in the room. But this is, when you're a sound guy, you don't want to like,
No, you
to
know,
other sound guys and say,
that'll
hey,
make you
what
crazy.
the hell's happening?
Right.
This was like last minute. Yes. And when do you actually get these in your hand? Tuesday.
Oh, well, you know, it's like,
Do you want me to bring you the cough syrup?
that would be great. Yeah, yeah. I had to fight with Oasis because the whole graphics thing when
That's
they
what
were
we're supposed to do.
when they were Oasis and not they're under Discmasters now, and it was seamless. It was just so easy. You know, it's like, yep, here's my graphics. You know, here's my here's my sound files. Go to town. You know, and you know they. First they come back to me, they're like, oh, there's some font that's missing. I was like, no, that can't be, because the way I do the graphics, I do them in Photoshop and I print them to PDF, the way I've been doing them the last 4 albums.
Right.
You know.
No.
And they're like, oh, well, they always wanted me to, I don't know if you work with Photoshop, but they always wanted you to send them over with the layers intact, because then they could move things if they needed to. Like, oh no, you've got to send them with the layers already flattened. So I had to do them all over. And then I lost another day because they came back and said your pages are out of order. You know, and the way you do a booklet, you do them from the outside in. So, you know, they alternate pages, and I called up the guy. We were at a school, and I didn't see this email until we got out of school. And I finally got somebody who knew, thank you, dear, who knew what they were doing. And he was like, oh no, your graphics are fine. They just try to do them that way because there's so many people now who don't know how to do them, and so they have to put them in like the normal order so that they understand them. Yours are fine, but I lost a whole day on that.
And you got this Tuesday of this week.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, living dangerously.
Yeah, could you hear me all right this set?
Not very well.
So what's
Yeah.
the minimum order these days?
It's
100.
usually 100, right?
Yeah.
Oh, not 1,000. That's
No,
good.
not
So I
anymore.
was
No.
mentioning to Susan that Doug Lostrom texted me. See, I can't hear Susan's mic on the live stream. Well, tell them we're doing this song at the end of the show that was inspired by Mim's book, so. Oh, yeah? So, make them stick around.
Well, you recorded it, you ought to know.
Soil dulcimer titles.
Yeah.
All right, it's a fun CD to mix.
Yeah, well,
I enjoyed it.
oh, you did an amazing job on it. Oh my gosh. I was just amazed
Would it
at how
help
good
if I'm
it's.
pointing towards you and move my guitars over here? Because I
Yeah.
can't. This is very awkward. This stage needs to go one more foot this way and one more foot that way.
I
That would
know.
make the whole difference.
I know. I think this was originally intended for single performers. So,
Oh, we've had the whole 3 or 4 guitars.
right.
Is the piano still?
Is that a piano still on?
That should not be a tuner there real quick.
Well, thank you for the CD, my friend.
Oh, hey, thank you for recording it.
Isn't there one on the dulcimer end? I put one there.
No,
I put one there.
won't take long.
I know. Anyway, I figured I'll get the chair pointed towards you like we usually do.
Okay.
So is each side tuned differently?
What was
What's
it?
the difference between each side?
Basically, I tune them both to DAD, but then when I need the capo side, I can put a capo on one side.
It's designed though for two people to play at once.
Right.
Really? Yeah, it's to keep sweethearts close to each other, but not too close to each other.
And so their parents aren't grandparents too soon.
Oh, and did you say that's Appalachian?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's a Appalachian chord dulcimer. Normally, they've only got one set of strings.
Leaving enough room for the Holy Spirit.
Wow, you two really know what you're talking about.
Remember, that was the whole dance roll. You need to leave room for the Holy Spirit.
Well, we've known these.
Musical bundling.
We've known these two for 40 years.
A
Yeah.
long time.
Really?
Yeah.
Friends and neighbors? Or?
Well,
Never neighbors.
Music that none of the above are
yep. Yeah, I met youth guys through Susan, and
Yeah.
Well, I believe that was when we still lived in Chicago,
Yeah.
long time ago.
and we moved out of Chicago in '87.
Right.
Oh, I need the tuner back so I can get this fine-tuned.
Yeah, that was even pre-fill.
We didn't move very far. We lived in unincorporated Riverside. But it was, after about
Thank you.
29 years and 5 major floods,
How many CDs have we done?
we were finally paid off by
Um,
property.
February Sky, Bittersweet.
Floodplain, they never should build.
We did
It was a nice place to live when it was flood.
All of
one Cooper Nelson early recording, one Bittersweet recording,
Unincorporated.
If you look at the map, you'll see that.
all but the
one and
first.
a half
Goes
bittersweet
down, takes a turn
recordings.
back up, makes like a drain track.
Oh, yes, and then
Where we live.
for Fed Sky things, we did
Meadow Park.
Time on
Our
Path.
Pathways, Goldenrod, Silverwolf,
Dumped into the displays.
Ain't No Singing.
And then you'll
So
see
we
a
did like,
loop there.
Okay. All right.
you've done about a total of 7 recordings, one way or another, with me involved anyway, but.
Were you on
Case?
Okay.
Kate Early's?
right behind the
Yeah, I played guitar on I think I played guitar on a couple of cuts, but she wound up just using one. For Banks of the Nile. I got kicked out of the band. Yeah.
Well, here's the clue. I found this after 25 years of living here in Hampton, and a gift from this woman says, I can't get out of town. And the owner of the shop says, okay, here's the deal. You just drive until you see a road that has a stripe in it. Get on that road and follow it out. Because those are the ones that got federal funds. They have to have a stripe on them. And they have to connect you with a major road outside of town.
Is it long common that sort of goes east to west?
Kind of southwest to northeast.
Okay, all right.
Right after we moved there, I got suckered into being a cup company. And I had to drive all around that town. I think I was on a little motorcycle. Drop flyers off for an event. Yeah. It's about being very protective. When we first saw the house, we came from a realtor in Brookfield. And we came in Riverside and wound around and around the right.
Anyway, I'm pointed more towards you now.
Oh, good. Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
No, it was because.
Yeah, were you stifling a cough during the third verse of Jamie?
Because when the time
Yes.
moved in there, there
That's what I thought.
Was that?
were in Lions.
Yeah, I was just about to ask. Has Lions sort of gotten through that?
No, they're not so obvious.
The strip clubs are gone.
Oh,
The administration that got rid of it was a woman, but she wasn't there all that long. And it was followed by some more corrupt administration. In fact, you may have, there's something in the paper right now about police chief from mayor yeah, and they were allies of the administration alliance, the Getty family. I almost said Gotti.
but the getting spelled with a billionaire.
Not related.
I didn't realize corruption involved.
You're always surprised by corruption. I don't know why. I think corruption is probably the norm through most administrations, through most of history.
We have a friend who just,
Oh, the tuner wound up on the floor. That's where it is.
pretty much made her
We'll retrieve it when we pack up, probably.
places that are on.
Sounds good to me.
Stealing money right now.
They can get over a year. Like, you know, the women buying the stuff like that.
Cavalco string. Raise. Okay, we're ready. Oh,
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 2 Coffee House.
announcements. You got time to tune.
I have a few announcements, so keep tuning. Next Friday, the March 1st, no less, it's we have Jessica Smucker here in the coffee house. This right now, she's out in Kansas City at the Folk Alliance International gathering, along with Joel and Jennifer. So yeah, Jessica will be here next week. I believe she is a piano player, a singer and piano player. So that'll be something a little different. Tomorrow in this room, we have a country western jam from 2 to 4. You can bring yourself, you can bring your ears, you can bring your instrument, you can bring your voice, or all of the above. 2 to 4 in this room, there's a leader, and just like it says, country western. What am I forgetting? Aha! Now remember I told you there's gonna be a test.
John.
So what's my name? John, thank you very much. Manning the coffee tonight, we have Christine.
Yay!
The man behind the box here is Tim. And so yeah,
And you're still John.
I think I am, except for some people call me Bob. We won't mention her
Two
name.
Johns down the hall.
I know. You know, you can never have too many Johns when you drink.
Yeah, that's okay, Dave.
Thanks.
Dave's not here.
Dave, no, he's not here. He could be. I mean, Dave Humphrey does pop in every so often. He was here last week, as a matter of fact. But he's probably also out at Folk Alliance in Kansas City. So, yeah, I'm running out of things to say. Are you guys closer now? Close?
Getting there. 12 strings are tricky.
Well, yeah, I know, they're never in tune.
Well, this one is usually pretty good.
Okay.
But she managed to bop it on the last set, which...
Okay, well, I'm gonna turn it back over to you guys. You can tell a joke or something.
Well, I think we're ready. We're gonna... Is this on?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna start with a Scottish song again. This is a ancestor to the song "Wild Mountain Thyme." It was written in the 1700s, and it uses some of the lines that was used for "Will You Go, Lassie Go" or "Wild Mountain Thyme." And it's just a nice song that reflects the seasons. Yeah, these guitars are tuned differently. That's why I'm doing all this. Well, we're doing this finagling and changed my chair around so Susan could hear me better. So.
Oh, and your music stands up the floor.
Yeah, this way I'm not. I mean, it's butt up against the music stand here. And,
Okay.
okay. Oh, we did the wrong introduction.
Oh, okay.
I was coming from the fair at Ballyfannin, when I met this winsome dame. She was fairer than Rhiannon. I asked her where she dwelt as we strolled along together. By the bonny mountainside, she replied, amongst the heather. Will you go, lassie, go to the braes of Balquidder, where the wild berries grow amongst the bonny bloomin' heather, where the deer and the roe lightly bounding together sport the long summer's day round the braes of Balquidder. I will twine my love a bower near yon clear crystal fountain, and I'll cover it over with the flowers of the mountain. I will range through the wild and the deep glen so dreary, and return with the spoils to the arms of my dearie. Now the cold winter winds sprightly swirl around our dwelling, and the roar of the gale and the night breezes swelling. Oh, my dear, we will sing as the storms rattle o'er us, with the sheets of falling rain and the lightning in chorus. Now the summer's in its prime, and the flowers sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme o'er the moorlands perfuming. To our dear native scenes let us journey together, where glad innocence reigns round the braes of Balquidder. Will you go, lassie, go to the braes of Balquidder, where the wild berries grow amongst the bonny bloomin' heather, where the deer and the roe lightly bounding together sport the long summer's day round the braes of Balquidder. Thank you.
All right, well, here is my song that's my paean to the 60s.
Got her blacklisted in Elgin.
Yeah, well, like Phil always said, you know, he feels sorry for me, but I put it on my promo material. Put it on my promo material. I actually got an apology for that, believe it or not. Eventually, word got back to, you know, very liberal church that somebody got blacklisted for that song, and got back to that person, and she apologized. I think it was more like a thing of a very young child, very strongly objecting to that song about drugs, right? Because
Don't get excited.
Don't get too excited, no. By today's standards, it's just really, really mild. But yeah. And back in the 60s, the feed store was our first hippie restaurant, had bare brick walls and spool tables. And really, really interesting place. I could tell you some stories that would curl your hair, but I won't. And the Electric Theater was one of those big barn-like emporiums where kids used to go to dance in the strobe lights and ruin their hearing. And almost every major band that was in existence at that time played there. Not the Beatles, but pretty much everybody else. And these are, and the Seed was our underground newspaper. People made a living selling those for $0.25 apiece. Pretty amazing. Anyway, here we go.
Oh, Gina Forsyth played a nice violin part on this.
And she made me cry on this song that I wrote like 10,000 years ago. I picked up your roommate one night at the feed store in June of 1968. But when I met you and you gave me your hand, the look in your eyes sealed his fate. Your roommate and I lasted only one night. He was jealous 'cause you turned my head. So he took off that evening to hitchhike to Denver. I am sorry. And I moved in with you instead. You wore John Lennon glasses, your long hair was brown, and you had such a sweet, gentle smile. I worked as a waitress, you peddled the Seed, and we shared all we had for a while. And we'd
Go to the Electric Theater and dance in the light of the strobe. To the Beatles, the Airplane, the Stones, and the Who, till the time to be heading for home. Then you would cradle me close in your arms, and we surely made love and not war. And we knew neither fear nor a thought for tomorrow. That's what young love is made for.
So we spent all our free time together that summer, and we listened to sweet rock and roll. We smoked lots of grass and we chewed on peyote, and the music united our souls. We sounded the meanings in Lennon, McCartney, and Arlo, and Angel Voice Joe. When you played your guitar and you sang like Bob Dylan, it thrilled me right down to the bone. We believe just the same as all young folks before us, that we were changing the world with our life. And now, looking back more than 50 years later, I still do believe we were right. And we
Go to the electric theater and dance in the light of the strobe. To the Beatles, the airplane, the Stones, and the Who, till the time to be heading for home. Then you would cradle me close in your arms, and we surely made love and not war. And we knew neither fear nor a thought for tomorrow. That's what young love is made for.
In September, you left with some friends for LA, and you said it was just for a while. You promised goodnight, and I choked back the tears as I kissed you goodbye with a smile. But I knew in my heart you would never return, either you or one of your friends. You were killed in a head-on in southwestern Texas, and I never did see you again. But you left such a treasure of memories behind that I often remember your face as it was at 19 in that 68 summer, an impression that time can't erase. When we
Go to the electric theater and dance in the light of the strobe. To the Beatles, the airplane, the Stones, and the Who, till the time to be heading for home. Then you would cradle me close in your arms, and we surely made love and not war. We knew neither fear nor a thought for tomorrow. That's what young love is made for.
That's what young love is made for. Wooden ships on the water, very free.
sued by, what is that, a place in New York?
Oh, for,
And then-
yeah, someone else had used the name sooner, yeah.
And they became the Kinetic Playground.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember the kinetic playground being mentioned.
yeah,
So,
Room.
yep.
well, now we're going to take a vacation to Brittany.
And we should probably talk about the courting dulcimer, because Steve and some other
People have asked, yes.
have asked. Okay, well, this is a version of the Appalachian or mountain dulcimer called the courting dulcimer. And it was an early form of birth control. A young courting couple could sit in the parlor knee to knee and play together, and as long as mom and dad could hear music coming out of the parlor, they didn't have to check up on them too closely. The music stopped, they'd be in there, what the heck are you guys up to anyway? And when I bought it, I thought we would play it more as a double dulcimer, but it's hard to work out logistically on stage, but it comes in handy for me because I can capo one side, and then all I have to do is flip it around to change the key. Changes it from D to G, believe it or not, but it's still handy. And also the larger body makes it easier to hear than most dulcimers. So it's about the same level sonically as my other instruments, so I don't have to have a separate plug-in or anything like that for it. Okay.
This is a Breton dance called an andro, but its original title is the Wren. And Paul Goles plays a really nice bowed dulcimer part to this, besides what we're doing. I was saying that a lot of Breton andros are danced around New Year's with men with their pinky fingers linked, barefoot in the snow. I read it on the back of a record jacket, so I know it must be true. And wound up having my Canadian friend Mike Crocker send me several versions of sheet music for the Wren to make sure I didn't mess it up. So I've of course folk processed it anyway, but
Oh, yeah.
the Cuisinart folk processor slices, dices, and shreds traditional music of all sorts. So anyway, the Wren. that tune was like an earworm most of the summer. So Susan did not get tired of me trying to practice it while watching crime procedural shows on the couch while she was working on February Sky Business on the computer. Never did hear a make it stop.
No, and never will, that's for sure. No, that's right, I don't need those anymore. Not doing any more dulcimer pieces. All right.
Well, next is our title song. The author's actually here, sitting over there.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful song. I'm a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful songwriter.
While not exactly a true story, it really ought to be.
Yes.
I'll just put it that way. Life as it should be, not as it is sometimes, you know. That's the best fiction is like that. Gives you a picture of... this is not a dystopian universe song. This is a utopian.
Well, this is the cover of the CD. I was thinking of turning the black Phantom bicycle into a yellow bicycle, and I worked on that for quite a while, and it just wasn't happening. My Photoshop skills were not up to it, and then finally I went to bed and woke up one day and said, "You idiot, who the hell would do that to a black Phantom? They ought to be shot." So instead of doing that, I made the little yellow fence of bicycles, but I left the black Phantom intact. I wanted a black Phantom when I was a little girl so badly. They didn't make them for girls, but I wanted one.
Now George and his Lucy live in the country, a few miles outside of town. George just turned 80, 10 years retired, the wheel of his life slowing down. For 56 years their marriage has prospered, and squabbles were always made right. Now Lucy has had it, she's dug in her heels, and George knows he's in for a fight. George repaired bicycles back in the 40s, starting a business from scratch. Repacking bearings, truing up wheels, and charging 2 bits for a patch. Then in 52, George took a big gamble and acquired a Schwinn dealer's sign. The next year he courted and married Miss Lucy. Those kisses were sweeter than wine. The wheels of time rolled on through the decades as bicycles rolled from the shop. Balloon-tired cruisers gave way to 10 speeds, then mountain bikes rode to the top. The changing designs were exciting to George, but a soft spot remained in his heart for the dashing black Phantom from 49 he'd had in his shop at the start. Once he retired, George spent his weekends stopping at yard sale signs, buying old bicycles, taking them home, then adding them to the long lines. The garage was full, their cars in the driveway, and Lucy's teeth started to gnash. But George knew for certain he just couldn't stomach pitching those bikes in the trash.
Do something, said Lucy. I'm feeling fenced in. It's me or the bikes if you can.
There's an idea, a rigid George muttered, locked in 1,000-yard stare. George called a friend to come with his ditch witch and trench down the property line. A new coat of paint on the frames of the bikes gave them a soft yellow shine. Then tire to tire, the bikes were arranged and soil was packed tight around. The yard is now lined by a bicycle fence, sunk to their hubs in the ground. Lucy is happy, and George still goes out and breaks for a yard sale sign, extending the fence round the 5-acre lot, adding one bike at a time. Actually, you need the dulcimer for the next song.
Oh, yes, I do.
And this is technically the last song, because we need an encore.
Right.
So, and it has a catchy chorus. One of the things I liked about the song is its chorus is, we could sleep tomorrow, we could sleep tomorrow, we could sleep tomorrow, but tonight we'll sing. We can sleep tomorrow, we can sleep tomorrow. It's a tough one to remember. Respite from all sorrow, make the rafters ring. And that's something we could do here at the two-way street and make the people in Kansas City wish that they were here instead of there. But
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, I was inspired to write this by a scene of music called filk, not folk, filk. And filk is mostly, although not exclusively, devoted to science fiction and fantasy. And but they sing about almost anything. And some people just say, well, a filk song is any song that's sung in a filk room. And these folks have conventions, maybe 6 times a year, but nobody can afford to go to all of them. And people have really good friends that they never see any other time. And so they stay up all night and sing. And so, like I said, this is the inspiration for this particular song.
we don't necessarily stay up that late anymore, but
Never did. We were never late night people. Not as late as some. I always hated the way I would feel the next day after staying up all night. Yuck. Okay.
tomorrow, we can sleep tomorrow, we can sleep tomorrow, but tonight we'll sing. We can sleep tomorrow, we can sleep tomorrow, respite from all sorrow, make the rafters ring. We can sleep tomorrow, we can sleep tomorrow, we can sleep tomorrow, but tonight we'll sing. can sleep tomorrow. We can sleep tomorrow. Respite from all sorrow, make the rafters ring. We can sleep tomorrow. We can sleep tomorrow. We can sleep tomorrow, but tonight we'll sing. We can sleep tomorrow. We can sleep tomorrow. Respite from all sorrow, make the rafters ring. We can sleep tomorrow. We can sleep tomorrow. We can sleep tomorrow, but tonight we'll sing. We can sleep tomorrow. We can sleep tomorrow. Respite from all sorrow, make the rafters ring. We can sleep tomorrow. We can sleep tomorrow. We can sleep tomorrow, but tonight we'll sing. We can sleep tomorrow. We can sleep tomorrow. Respite from all sorrow, make the rafters ring.
Okay, another wonderful night in the coffee house. Word on the street, I think it's still snowing out there.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Gee, that never happens.
Gee,
You'd think it was winter or something.
yeah, we got spoiled. Now we're back to winter.
Right.
So anyway,
Character building.
well, yeah, there's so many characters.
Well, there's two of us right here.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but Phil.
Yeah, well, if the shoe fits, wear it, yes.
Yeah. So, like I say, next week, we've got Jessica Smucker coming in, hot off the Folk Alliance International outing, on her way back to Pennsylvania. It's Country Western Jam tomorrow, 2 to 4 in this room. I told you about that earlier. I think, I'm just taking a look here, they all look like they need one more song.
We have it planned, so yes.
So, Jerry, nobody gets out of the coffee house without an encore. Jerry's here almost every week, and he could probably do this job better than me. So do you have one more?
Yes, we do,
Oh,
John.
good, because otherwise I look silly. All right, take it away, guys.
All right, well, Mim Eichmann, who I understand is listening in tonight, in addition to being a spectacular hammer dulcimer player, she is also an amazing author, and she's written several wonderful books. They're historical-based fiction and well-written, well-researched, great stuff. And there was one, the first one that I read is called A Sparrow Alone, and there was a character in that book that is based on a real historical character that I found fascinating. Her name was Pearl de Vere, and she was a madam. And like in the 1890s or so, something like that. And women who were women of the night were called soiled doves during that era. And the death of this person according to the real record and other places, didn't seem right to me. Just didn't seem like that would have happened that way. And again, it's another one of those fiction things that, well, you know, you just go with the story as it comes to you. And
So how it should have ended as opposed to how it might have really ended.
Okay, guitar's still in tune after all
Yes.
that. I gazed out on a tombstone of white marble, finely carved, with a name that once was mine so long ago. And the tunes the trumpet sounded as the verse came rolling down are as clear inside my head as though that was an hour ago. Once I ran a pleasure palace in a western mining town. Way back in the 1890s, rich men laid good money down. For the girls who worked in my house, all were beauties, clean and fair. And the men liked talking with my girls before they went upstairs. But even
Soiled doves have wings to fly away.
although I ran a lavish house in every luxury, I laid by a lot of money, all in gold. I was smart enough to figure out that good times never last, and I thought of how I wished to live when I had got the dough. One day a girl walked in the door, said Ada was her name. When I looked at her, I knew my life would never be the same. In one moment it was clear why I had never loved a man. For sweet Ada stole my heart away when first I touched her hand. The hearts of
Soiled doves have wings to fly away.
Ada told the story of the path that led her there. How a drunken cousin forced her one late night, and her family disowned her on the day she'd given birth to a stillborn girl with golden hair like hers, so soft and bright. Ada soon became my partner in each other's arms we lay, and I shared with her the secret of the gold I put away. We decided we would live that life, a plot formed in our heads, till one very early morning when she found me lying dead. And all the
Souls of soiled doves can fly away.
I woke up in the coffin, Ada helped me out of bed. When we filled it full of golden coins and all, I put on a filthy worn-out dress and covered up my head, and we locked the casket
day a soiled dove had truly flown away.
And they played the death march on the way out to my grave. But they played some raucous tune when heading back. On that very night, we dug the coffin up and took the gold, shoveled back the earth, and popped the midnight train, all dressed in black. We settled down in Boston town, a place where spinsters live, unmolested in regions known as Boston Meridian. And the questions folks might have been asking soon had died away. For it's true that money talks out loud, like all the wise ones say.
No,
And
no one knew some doyle doves had flown away.
the creditors closed down my house. They sold off what they could of the fine and fancy furnishings inside. They proclaimed that I'd been broke. There was no money to be found in the bank or in the house itself. And then I'd up and died. My Ada passed in 52. Next year the word came down that my house was an old West museum in this sad old town. City tourists lay pink roses here and write love notes to me. So I made one final journey back, chuckle silently, and soon I'll
Spread my soiled wings and fly away. Thank you all. Well, thanks to Two Way Street for having us. We've had a great time. And thank you for coming and staying. And drive safe home.